Hi and welcome to Hairdressing Live. I have Siobhan Jones, one of the colour ambassadors for Headmasters here. Before I get into that, I just want to introduce you, which is your role in Headmasters is colour education. You also do trend predictions for new techniques and concepts for the company. Your editorial work consists of like Vogue magazine, Marie Claire, Grazia. And you've assisted many hairdressers such as Zoe Irwin, Anthony Turner, done shows such as Topshop Unique and Julien McDonald. I could continue going on here. I mean, it's an extensive CV you have, which is absolutely incredible. And I just want to get to know a little bit more about that, you know, I mean, about your role in the Headmasters. You've been with them for, how many years did you say?
So 14 years
14
now,
years.
yeah. So I've been with Headmasters for 14 years, and they've been great 14 years actually. And what I was saying to you earlier actually is that it's been phenomenal because my career has also grown and flourished in the time that I've been there, as has the company. So we now have 56 salons.
That's incredible.
Which is
incredible. It's grown,
huge,
isn't it?
Yeah, and when I first started, and I was first in my role, I think we had something like 14 salons. So as you can imagine, my job and you know what's been expected of me has changed and grown. But so within that, as a company, we were one of the first companies or salon groups that focus on hair that's for the consumer.
Right.
And before I was in my role, there was never someone that was in charge of colour. I think colour was maybe seen as something that was in the back seat, you know? Yes. It wasn't kind of shouted about that much. And I loved colour. I had a huge passion for colour. So I actually went to them and said, I'd love to be the ambassador for colour for you and really push this forwards. And then since then, we've worked on producing a colour menu. So we were the first kind of large salon group to come up with a consumer-focused colour menu. So it's all well and good, you know, creating techniques that we learn and we educate on, but actually sometimes we want to create services that the clients want and the clients see and they go, oh yeah, we love that. So from that, what I've then started to do is find trends, spot trends, create services based on those trends, and then translate them into wearable looks that we can actually achieve in the salon, as well as do for an editorial shoot or for film or for whatever it may be. Because I think that's the great thing about colour actually, because you know you don't just have one set way and then you know it's not usable. You can adjust the tone or the shade to make it work for each and every person.
And make it seasonal almost,
yeah, totally, yeah.
I mean, I do believe what you just said there. I mean, colour has just taken a whole new
really
life of its own, hasn't it? It's just like it's gone from like I know a couple of colourists that says, you know, back of the shop to the front of the shop almost.
Totally.
And it's completely swiveled around, doesn't it?
No, definitely.
I mean, I know our turnover in regards to colour has like completely increased, like with the balayage techniques, the ombre techniques, the freehand techniques. I mean, it goes on and on and on. But look, I mean, predominantly, are you a colour technician or are you a stylist as well? You've trained all round, haven't you?
I focus on everything. I think it's great to understand or good to understand everything anyway, because if you're going to come up with a technique, even if it is for colour, you need to understand how a cut would move. In order to complement that. So I do think it's important to focus on all of these areas, and at the same time you want to be able to finish your colour beautifully, so to have that skill set to really
have your vision.
Exactly. We have an art team at Headmasters, and I focus on heading the colour. We do have people that head the session and head the cutting, but I will work alongside them as well. So it's I will, as you've mentioned, work on shoots where I do the styling. But I think when you're looking after a brand that has 56 salons, heading or directing every single area is quite difficult. It would be quite difficult. So in regards to the salon group, my focus is colour, but externally I work on, like today I'll be styling and cutting and doing the colour as well. Very good.
I've got a two-part question here for you. I mean, trends, you talk about trend predictions and things like that for the company, for Headmasters. So obviously you've got to bring those to life. Once you bring those to life, you've got to deliver that throughout 56 salons. How do you do that? How do you get the message across? Do you do internal training? How does it go about?
In all honesty, it has become harder because how trends work now, they move much quicker than they did perhaps even, 4 years ago. What used to happen is you would see a trend on the runway and then you would have 6 months to kind of further that trend, come up with your services, and then also educate your teams before it then reaches the season. Whereas now, a trend can be spotted online, social media, just like that, and the next day it becomes a massive thing. So I think what we try to do is try and foresee a trend, so before it's happened, or try and create a trend in a way, which I think is almost how it's working at the minute. Our clients are creating trends almost for us. Create, as I say, come up with techniques and services that I would then educate in the salons for my teams. If I'm unable to do it, then I would educate our art team to then go out and educate our teams.
And they distribute it throughout.
And then they would distribute it.
Okay, excellent.
And then now what we're needing to do is things like videos, making sectioning patterns. I think actual visual content, so stuff like that's why Hairdressing Live is great, because it's instant, so you don't need to wait 6 months before you can get on that course. You can watch it and see it right now. Which
exactly, it's the most current trend right now.
Exactly, exactly. And you can move quickly with it, rather than me spotting a trend and then having to kind of try and book up a class. I know,
and try and deliver it, try and deliver that message. That's why we, that's the whole purpose of Hairdressing Live, is try and get every trend as it's current at the moment.
Yeah, totally.
Very, very important. So listen, tell me about the course that you're doing today, just briefly, because I know we've got to get ready for the course anyway. So I mean, what are they going to take from this class today that you're going to be doing?
From this course, I'm going to focus on helping you to perfect your freehand and balayage techniques, but take it to another level. So we've got our traditional ways of doing freehand, but the way that I look at it is actually assessing the individual hair and hair type and style, and then creating sectioning patterns or placement that will be bespoke for that. Because often, I hear people say, I've learnt a technique, balayage, but then it doesn't necessarily work all the time. So, and it can be quite visual, whereas I've had set sectioning patterns that I think will work. Also combining that with my kind of top tips on creating bespoke toners as well, and also just ensuring that you get really great finish on your colour results.
Okay, amazing. I cannot wait.
Yeah, me
I'm
too.
sure everybody else can't either. We're going to get set up right now, so thank you very much, Siobhan Jones, for coming and joining us on Hairdressing Live.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
See you then.
I'll see you then. If you like what you've seen, leave a comment below and subscribe to our YouTube channel.